Most here. Hello, Mrs. James. Hey, hey, it has happened. It has happened again. You know, Mr. Okpe. Mr. Okpe went to buy Range Rover. That man, he doesn't have any common sense. Instead of him to use that money to go and buy land, he went to buy Range Rover. He's now flaunting his car everywhere. I don't like that man. That man. Well, apart from that, the biggest news is that the Johnsons, they've acquired new property. Oh my dear, I'm telling you, they've acquired new property. I know that it is their first son that they use for money ritual. Yes, they use the boy for money ritual. If I'm seriously, I'm serious. If not because they use the boy for money ritual, do you think they will be that rich? I am serious.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nikki Hay, and in today's video we'll be talking about something very interesting, just like you can see down below: how to mind your business. What do we mean by minding your business? We mean stop meddling in things that doesn't concern you. We mean trim your Pinocchio nose so that you're able to mind your own business. We mean kill those Pinocchio habits so that you're able to focus on yourself, because when you don't mind your business, it shows how selfish and immature you are as a person. Before I start ranting, I'm going to be sharing with you guys habits and attitude you tend to exhibit when you don't mind your business, attitude you tend to show when you don't mind your business, attitude you tend to display. Anyone you want to use. You sure get what I'm talking about? Come along with me. Let's talk about criticizing. Wow. You know those fault finders, you know them, those ones that no matter what you do, no matter the thing, I don't see that thing you do, walk on water, somersault on sea, there's nothing you're going to do, these people will still criticize you. Now let me clarify this. There's something I call healthy criticism. I mean, those are the ones we have in our classes. I mean, our sociology, law, philosophy, history classes. Those are the ones we have, because you are probably criticizing a scholar to buttress a point. I'm not talking about that one, no. I'm talking about people that there's nothing you do, they would always find a fault. There's nothing you can do to impress these people. They don't see anything special. You know, the fault finders, mistake seekers, adjustment masters. Oh my god, you wear a skirt and they'll be like, I think your skirt should be high waist. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying your boyfriend is not cute, but maybe if he was 6'5", if he was 6'5", a little bit light, with pink lips, with his muscular, he has toned abs. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying Agbani Darogo is not fine. I'm not saying she's not fine, no, but I just don't really see anything special in her. You know what I'm talking about. If she had fuller hair, if she had darker eyes, if she had luscious lips, you know what I'm talking about. No, we don't know what you're talking about. You are just a bitter critic that doesn't see anything special, and you had better change that. Criticizing people at another level. That is judging people, being judgmental, just passing judgment in a very blunt way, in a very rude way, just being judgmental, just judging people anyhow when no one actually asked you to be the judge. Let's not even tell lies. We all have the tendency to actually be judgmental, and at a point in my life I did this a lot, but now I know maturity dictates that you stop judging people. We really need to stop judging people. We need to stop jumping into conclusion. The fact that you saw somebody drinking garri early in the morning doesn't mean the person is poor. The fact that Sandra, she's always going out at night doesn't mean she's a prostitute. The fact that Mr. Olu, a married man, is seen with Mrs. Titi, another married woman, doesn't necessarily mean they're having an affair. We need to stop jumping into conclusion and make excuses for people in her mind, because when you judge and criticize people, it simply means you can't accept people for who they truly are. It means you can't accept the perfection. You can't see the perfection in people's imperfection. It means you can't embrace the difference in our diversity. It means you can't appreciate the beauty in people's deformity. And excuse me, all this makes me question your humanity. Whatever happened to love your neighbor as yourself? Whatever happened to love your neighbor as yourself? Do you think by neighbor God means somebody that fits the image of a normal person in your head? No. A neighbor can be anyone and everyone, and you must love them just like you love yourself. I pray God helps us, because loving someone like as you love yourself is actually a big deal. So gossip. Hey, the unbeatable CNN, the gist carrier of her time. The have you heard? I salute your nonsensity. I salute your nonsensity. You are so jobless, You are so jobless that the only job you have is to cause drama, cause chaos, and just spread baseless rumors around the world. And look around you. Just take a good look around you. Different invention, different innovation, different projection. Yet the only thing you know, my sister, my brother, is convention. Gathering people around and just talking about other people. Once again, I salute your nonsensity. You see, the thing is that when you like gossiping or gossips, just take a good look at gossips around you. If you know one or two people that, I know they're everywhere. If you know one or two people that love gossiping, the probability that they're going to be successful is zero. The probability that they are going to be successful, is zero, because they spend all their ideas, they exhaust all their ideas, they exhaust their intelligence analyzing other people's problem, analyzing other people's headache. It me to ask a question: is this the legacy you want to leave behind? Is this what you want your kids to inherit? Is this what you want your family to inherit? On the ladder of success, my dear, on the ladder of success, you used to be number 5, but now because you like gossiping, you're already back to number 1, rock bottom. And the people you are gossiping about, they are already on number 10, because it's just normal. Gossips usually gossip about people that are successful. People, you know what I've also discovered? Gossips usually know the history of people's lives. Try to confirm this. They know each family's history. I don't know that. I don't know why this is so. But gossips know each family's history. They are the best encyclopedia you can find around. They are the best of the best encyclopedia you can find. Now these people archives. You wear something like are you not Zion? You don't know me again, Zion. Are you not the son of Mrs. James, whose husband sent her packing because of adultery? In fact, I heard your grandma suffered the same misfortune too, because she cheated on her husband and her husband sent her away. In fact, your grandma's distant cousin suffered the same misfortune. Permit me to say that even you, Zion, your wife too, she's already cheating on you. We know everything. We know everything. Hey, these people, I salute you. Who asked you? Who wants to know history? Who asked you? Are you not even ashamed? Are you not ashamed? When you enter like this, everybody keeps short, because they know how through you the whole world shall hear. Are you not even ashamed? It's so pitiful. Now, some people will be like, she has mentioned criticizing, gossiping, judging, don't accept people for who they truly are, and gossiping, blah blah blah. I don't do all that. Yes, but that is why I'm going to be talking about this aspect, and I call it the too concerned aspect. Do you can be part of these people when you are too concerned? Okay, how do I mean? You see, it's not, we all have friends and we have family members, and oftentimes we feel the need to advise them on things. But it's not bad to want to advise your friend. It's not bad to want to advise your family member on something. But the thing is that when you continually advise people, you start to annoy them. You start they will even they will try to shield themselves away from you. They will try to run away from you. They will start avoiding you when you are too in someone's business, when you keep advising them on something and on the same thing over and over and over again. I tell people, the thing with advice is that once you advise someone and the person doesn't listen, or the person doesn't make use of the advice, and you keep advising the person is not there. If the person wants to use your advice, or the person wanted to use your advice, the person would have used it. So you should know when to step back. You should know when to withdraw. You should always see, it's better when people make their own mistakes. It is better when they make their own mistakes, because when they make their own mistakes, they learn more, they learn better. So sometimes it is better to see. Sometimes it doesn't make you a bad person, but sometimes it is advisable to allow people to make their own mistakes, because before you know it, you start crossing someone's boundaries, and you start invading people's privacy. And when they see you from afar, they be like, oh, he's coming again. He's already coming. Those kind of thoughts. I mean, do you have that one friend that when you see that friend, you're like, oh, here we go again? In fact, it's to get to a point when your friend starts saying, oh, here we go again. Oh my God, it's coming again. When your friends, once your family members, once your friends start saying, oh, here she comes again, before you know it, they will start avoiding you, and you are going to lose so many friends because you are genuinely concerned. Although you want something better for them, you want their lives to be better, but you just have to learn how to allow people to make their own mistakes, okay? And don't end up losing all your friends just because you are too concerned. Actually analyze some habits we tend to exhibit when we don't mind our business. Now let's talk about how to fix this, how to mind our own business. And you might want to get a pen and paper for this, because these are things we are going to continually meditate on. Because you can't just transform yourself in a day, and that's just the first thing. Is focus on yourself. Focus on being a better person. Focus on being a better you. Focus on your family. Focus on your business. Tell yourself you have to be successful. Tell yourself you have to be a go-getter. Tell yourself nothing is stopping you again. Draft out a plan on how you want to take your business to the next level. Let's take, for example, you're a caterer. You just do all these small jobs. Try to save up to get a phone. Create an Instagram account, Facebook account, on your WhatsApp, everywhere, social media. Showcase your work. By the time you are focused on being a better person, by the time you are focused on being a better you don't even notice the things going on around you. When you are looking ahead, you don't look sideways. When you are looking ahead, you don't look sideways. Look around you. Successful people that are successful, they are always looking ahead. They're always thinking of the next thing. So by the time you are preoccupied, by the time you want to make yourself a better person, by the time you realize how much God has deposited in you, by the time you realize how much you have to offer the world, you start working on these things, and before you know it, you'll be there. You won't even notice anything. You won't notice anyone. You won't even be in people's business again, because you are a go-getter and you want to be successful and you're working towards this. The second thing I'll be talking about is I want you to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself, how does it affect me? How does it affect you? Ask yourself this matter you are always analyzing, these people's business you are always talking about. How does it affect you? This question you have to probe yourself, you have to search yourself, that this thing I'm spending my hours, my time on, I'm spending hours on, how does it affect me? Let's see, Ronaldo, Messi, who is the best player, and then you spend all your life analyzing how does it really affect you. How does it really affect you? Like, how does it, is there, if you don't meddle in it, is it going to affect something in your life? This question slaps you. If you do it very well, it slaps you into reality. It allows you, it opens your eyes. It's an eye opener that someone's headache isn't really yours. It's actually not yours. Someone's headache is not yours. So ask yourself, how does this thing affect me? Now, you may not know the whole story. You may not know the whole story. The thing is that I tell people, if for those of us who watch the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I tell my friends, I tell people that most people will be like, oh, their life is too public. I'm like, even if you perceive that their life is too public, there are some certain information that they won't release out. So no matter how you try to analyze these people, we still don't know these people. We only see what we see on TV. So you have to understand the fact that you may not know the whole story. You may just know part of the whole story. So you can't draw conclusion. You can't jump into conclusion by just hearing or by just knowing part of the story. You don't know the whole story. You have to remind yourself that I don't know the whole story. The fact that Mr. Olu, a married man, is seen with Mrs. Titi and Mrs. Titi is sitting down on Mr. Olu's lap, doesn't necessarily mean they are having an affair, even though it looks like it. But you have to unconsciously and consciously make up excuses for people in your mind. Excuses for people, even though you know what you are saying is so close to the truth. But when you make excuses for people, when you come up with excuses in your mind, it makes you less inquisitive. And when you are less inquisitive, you just mind your own business, because there's no the spirit to find out more. It's not there anymore because you've made an excuse in your mind, and that's it. You also need to ask yourself, was your advice sought? Was your advice asked? Did they ask for your advice? You see, no matter how close you are to someone, no matter how anyone is to you, if your advice wasn't sought, if something wasn't brought to your table, then you have no business analyzing or meddling in those things. If your advice was needed, then they would ask for it. And if they did not ask for your advice, no matter how close you are with the person, then just let it go, because it's obvious they don't need your advice. So just keep your advice to yourself, and that's all. Now guys, this is a serious one. When you respect, or when you mind your own business, it tells people that you respect their privacy. When you mind your own business, it tells people you respect their privacy. Guys, we all have our private lives. We all have our private lives, and our private lives should remain private. So even if you have a vital information about somebody, you don't use it against the person, or you don't want to know more. Try it, because if the person has not told you about it, then just behave like you don't even know anything about it. Because by the time you stop meddling in people's affairs, by the time you start minding your own business, it tells people that, oh, you respect boundaries. It means you respect people's privacy, and this is what the world lacks today. People don't know how to respect other people's privacy. You see somebody, I want to use your phone to call, before you know it, they start going through your messages, through your chat. It is wrong. When they see your diary, probably you put your diary somewhere, they flip through your diary, they start reading. It is wrong. It simply means you don't respect someone's privacy. You don't respect that invincible boundary. Minding your business is the beginning of respect. By the time you start minding your own business, people would unconsciously start envying you. People would unconsciously start noticing you. You would stand out amongst people, because you'll be respected in a way, because they know you are not part of them. They know you don't know the latest gist. They know you don't know the trending rumor, because you are so focused on you. So they know, and before you know it, actually they will secretly start envying you, because they want to be like you too, but they don't have the discipline to be like you. They don't have what it takes to be like you. So by the time you start minding your own business, guys, is the beginning of respect. So if you are constantly being disrespected by people, probably you don't know how to mind your business. So this might solve it. Learn how to mind your business, and people will start respecting you, because you don't even have time for gist. And when you don't have time for gist gossip, you just become a different person. That's it. This video. Shout out to those who have been bullied, who have been judged, who have been criticized. You guys are the realest. Keep being a go-getter, keep being successful, keep the ball rolling, and do not mind what anyone has to say. You don't owe anyone any explanation on the choices you've made or you make on your life. You owe no one no explanation. Just do your thing and be good. Thank you so much for watching this video. To my new subscribers, thank you so much. To my old subscribers, thank you so much. You guys, it means so much to me. Let's grow this channel. Let's keep this channel growing. Tell a friend to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly click the subscribe button down below, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you are notified every time I post a video. Do not forget as you go that minding your business is the beginning of wisdom. Bye.